I just listened to someone, which is Stitched, speak about his feelings about Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show. He was coming from a perspective that he thought it was detrimental to black culture. As an author, as a poet, as a writer, and as a lover of hip hop from its very beginnings, as a writer, I disagree with his stance. And here's why. It is black culture. It is the culture of my people to speak for the voiceless, the people who have no voice, right? So I don't care how much money or acclaim any writer or rapper gets. At the foundation of it all is being a voice for the voiceless. Many artists from the founder of jazz poetry, Langston Hughes, out of the Harlem Renaissance, he was one of those artists. He was one of those poets who did just that. He had the ability to take different perspectives and put them in words so eloquently that it contributed to a broader discussion, okay, of whatever he spoke about. All right. In Langston Hughes' poetry, he could talk about the government. He could talk about um, different classes from the rich and the poor. He would talk about being biracial. He would talk about number of things. He would talk about love. He would talk about hatred. He would talk about racism. He would talk about it all. And this is the job of the artist, to contribute to the broader discussion, which will move things forward. Now, it may seem as though, right, people don't listen. It may seem as if these words aren't violent. It may seem as if these words aren't peaceful. It may seem as if these performances on paper or performances at the Super Bowl aren't just as damaging as an atomic bomb. It may seem as if these performances or these mere words don't bring as much relief as a ceasefire. But doesn't everything start with words? Doesn't everything start with a word and then a performance? Everything starts with a word. The performance is always powerful, and once you understand black culture at its foundation, there was a point in time where we as black Americans could not speak what we felt. Okay? We could not do that. All right. And if we did, we would be taken out. Okay. So we very much understand the power of the tongue and the power of words. We don't take it for granted. Our words were so powerful and still are so powerful that it took and still takes the government to try and quiet us. Even with the thought provoking messages of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., they couldn't sleep at night. A jail cell could not keep him quiet because he could write letters. See, it's giving a voice to the voiceless, which has always been a part of black culture. Always been a part of black culture. And so that's why you see that performance was everything wrapped in power. Not coming from a politician, someone who has its aspirations of doing such, coming from an artist who is being who he is. Even from the mighty coups that take place on the continent of Africa, right? It all starts with a word and being a voice for the who? The voiceless. I can go on and on about this, but I think You understand? And if you get this video, okay, if you get this video, I do want you to know that the brilliance of Kendrick Lamar has you doing exactly what he wants you to do. It has you doing exactly what he wants you to do. That's brilliance. He's a Black American artist. Kendrick Lamar's whole goal is to raise social awareness as well as promote Black culture. It made people study something that would not have been studied if that did not happen. Those who saw the world or America one way were able to now see it another way and from another lens. So he isn't a politician and he isn't a military general. That's not his place in life. But he is dominating in his place in life. So if we were to line up the generals in the military, the world's greatest politicians, the world's greatest poets, and the world's greatest rappers, and how they in their own ways contributed to social awareness, okay? And how did they fight the power? Kendrick Lamar would be in the number. Because again, coups, peace, love, hatred, all of that has some type of words behind it and some type of performance. Kendrick Lamar isn't Nelson Mandela. Langston Hughes isn't President Barack Obama. I am not you. And the way we fight to accomplish something may be different, but it all works together for the goal. Every mighty warrior had somebody cooking a meal so that they could win the same war. His performance was outstanding and was not detrimental to Black culture. He gave a voice where there needed to be one. He gave education where there needed to be some. And he gave a Super Bowl performance, speaking directly to his people. That will never be forgotten.